Hello everyone, welcome to Trades Talk. I am your host, Pop Culture Mechanic. You can call me Pop for short. And in this stream, I take a look at, the skilled trades and sort of life from an industrial perspective, which I don't think a lot of people do nowadays. But here's where you can get all your Trades Talk goodness. And I hope the sound is coming through okay. I was having a little trouble with my gate, so I don't know whether it's going to pick up every single thing or whether it's going to give me some trouble in this stream. But please let me know whether my voice is sounding good. It's not too soft, not too loud, and we can adjust from there. And as you know, we'll get to the news of the week, seeing how things are doing. You can sort of tell how your economy is doing by checking out some of the articles in the industrial magazines. And it'll tell you whether things are shutting down or starting up or all sorts of news out there. And I'd just like to welcome our newest mod, David Glenn. David, a very staunch supporter of the channel. Seems like you're always here, David, so you know what? I figured might as well you get to be a mod and, have fun with it. And you wanted that excavator in the opening credits there. That's a great all. And it's meant for long reach. It's definitely got some reach on it. Seeing it in person working it's awesome. And we use that during the when we're excavating the biofilter, which is just full of wood chips, and so they bring that in to come and take care of all the old wood chips, get them out of there, and also taking the cinder blocks out and all that. The guy operating it was just phenomenal. I'd never seen such an excellent operator. Anyway, let's get to some news here. I saw quite a few articles, and we'll do that courtesy of Plant Magazine. Here's one here. This guy, Neo Battery, joined forces with Lotus Energy Recycling. Sounds a little fuzzy. Maybe you need to turn down the mic, gain on the mic, move the mic. Okay, I'll try turning the gain down. How's that? Is that better? I think that's down. I don't think that's up. Or maybe that's cranked all the way. Maybe if I turn it this way. There we go. How's that? I think I turned it down quite a bit. It just seems that my mic is very sensitive right now, so. Perfect. Okay, great. Thank you, David. Excellent. All right, let's get to this here. Neo and Lotus intend to develop a silicon anode product to co-market directly to battery cell, electronics, and automotive manufacturers. Okay, what's this gonna do? Neo Battery Materials Limited, a silicon anode materials developer that is said to enable longer-running rapid-charging lithium-ion batteries, is pleased to announce the collaboration agreement with Lotus Energy Recycling, an Australia-based solar voltaic recycler. The partnership will aid the company's sustainable route to commercialization and supply chain resiliency for input materials. Neo and Lotus intend to develop a silicon anode product to co-market directly to battery cell electronics and automotive manufacturers. Both companies will explore joint venture opportunities to establish a North American footprint in silicon recycling. Governmental funding for international cooperation will be applied for in advanced manufacturing and clean technology based on availability and criteria match. This agreement further bolsters Neo's pillared strategy to to build commercial level relationships and diversify the silicon upstream value chain. Neo Battery aims to enhance the commercial viability and compatibility of recycled silicon as a reliable raw material source for its silicon anode materials. Oh, you remember reading a research paper on silicon anodes a while ago. All right. Well, hopefully these guys will be able to make them out of the recycled silicon. I think that's what they're aiming for here. Lotus Energy possesses a proprietary recycling know-how to recover solar silicon cells from end-of-life solar PV cells. The scalable process implements a heat and chemical treatment without the use of hazardous solvents and materials, removing the risk of environmental concern and reducing unnecessary manufacturing costs and overhead. Lotus has consistently achieved high purity levels of 99.9% for its recycled PV nanosilicon particles. Headquartered in Melbourne, Australia, Lotus Energy has developed several magnitudes of megawatt-hour solar projects across the country, ranging from commercial and industrial to residential applications. Lotus commenced the value-added PV recycling initiative and is expected to complete scale up to 3,600 kilos per year by the end of this year. Subsequently, the production capacity is expected to increase to 120,000 kilograms per year for its Melbourne plant. Lotus Energy intends to construct facilities in Sydney and Germany to supply its high-purity recycled PV nanosilicon to various industrial and electronics applications. Mr. Anthony Bipond, co-founder and CEO of Lotus, commented, "We are incredibly excited to be collaborating with Neo Battery Materials. We are aligned in our beliefs of the importance of nano and micro silicon applied into batteries, utilizing recycled materials to minimize the impact on the environment. The energy storage industry will see massive advancements, and we aim to be part of the team that makes those quantum leaps we seek for all and all need for renewables to be able to supply baseload and peak demand energy." You wish you could do accents. You just got to practice. Mr. Spencer He, president and CEO of NEO, commented, "The newly added collaboration aligns perfectly with our strategic vision of sustainability, innovation, and supply chain resiliency. Following our collaboration with Inox Eco-M, this partnership with Lotus will add another layer of depth and intricacy in NEO's research and development to utilize recycled silicon as the main raw material source. In a study administered by the Korea Photovoltaic Industry Association, approximately 3,000 tons and 30,000 tons of end-of-life PV cells will be released in 2027 and 2033. This fact implies that NEO will be able to secure a large proportion of ESG-friendly input precursors to diversify away from metallurgical-grade silicon produced from GHG, or greenhouse gas-emitting carbothermic processes." Well, I'm hoping that these guys can do this, and when they make their product and it gets used, hopefully it can come back and be also recycled again. We'll have to see. We have to see what they can do to not have it end up so that their stuff ends up in the landfill. Here we go. Quebec government and Airbus boost A220 development with $1.2 billion investment. I always say when a government is using or investing in a company, it's very sketchy. It's like kickbacks. And why the hell am I only have one? What happened to my Twitch and Kick? Huh. Okay, well, it looks like I've lost my... Sorry, just give me a second here. I just got my chat windows for the other streams that I'm broadcasting on. Because I'm broadcasting on Twitch and Kick and Rumble and YouTube. And it seems like YouTube is the only one that was active there. I mean, come on. I'm going to... Can I pop out the chat? Oh, maybe not. Anyways, okay. Looks like it's back there. Restream has it back. Okay, good. Open this. Fire this up. All right. Investment is intended to support the development and enhancement of the A220 aircraft, which is the only commercial aircraft program to be piloted outside of Europe. Do I have a link tree for all those sites? No, David, I do not. That might be something that I should look into doing. Make it a little easier for people to find me. All right, Airbus and the government of Quebec are investing a combined $1.2 billion in Airbus Canada and extending their partnership until 2035. The investment is intended to support the development and enhancement of the A220 aircraft, which is the only commercial aircraft program to be piloted outside of Europe. Yes, they said that already. Hey, Alex, how you doing? You're going to lurk and get ready for work? All right, cheers to you, the working man. I appreciate you stopping by. Let's see what else this has to say. The announcement was made at a press conference held on July 23rd at the A220 site in Mirabel, Quebec, attended by Premier François Legault, Economy Minister Pierre Fitzgibbon, and other regional officials. By extending our partnership with Airbus to accelerate activities around the development of the A220 aircraft, we are securing key jobs in the Mirabel region for years to come, Fitzgibbon said. In proportion to their respective share ownership, Airbus, which owns 75% of Airbus Canada, will contribute up to $900 million, while the Quebec government, using taxpayer money, they hold a 25% stake and will invest up to $300 million of people's hard-earned money. So the Quebec government will pay Airbus $300 million to stay in the country. That's what I'm reading into it anyway. Additionally, the partners agreed to extend the government of Quebec's equity redemption date from 2030 to 2035, allowing more time for Airbus Canada to advance the A220 program and meet its goal of delivering 14 aircraft per month by 2026. Since Airbus joined the partnership with the government of Quebec in 2018, we have made a considerable investment in the A220 program in order to give this aircraft all the industrial fundamentals, processes, and skills that will ensure all the success it deserves, said Benoit Schultz, CEO of Airbus Canada. We strongly believe in the future of the A220, one of the most technologically advanced aircraft, which is already recognized by airlines for its economic performance and reduced carbon footprint, and is also a favorite with passengers because of its innovative cabin design. Quebec has an outstanding labor force and aerospace ecosystem, and therefore has everything needed to ensure the full potential of the A220 program. And also the Quebec government paying into Airbus. That helps them, I'm sure. And everyone's favorite kaiju has arrived. Hi, Godzillionaire. Airbus is probably the most accurate name for current commercial aircraft. It's like being trapped on a bus. Yeah. Airbus could really clean up now that Boeing Aerospace and Screen Door Company can't make anything that lasts more than 90 minutes. Yeah, you got that right, David. I mean, honestly, all the other aircraft manufacturers, I guess there isn't that. I don't know if there's that many, but seeing Boeing drop the ball like they did and all the problems and controversy, these guys should up their game. They should, be out there pushing their planes even harder for people to buy them, making sure that their maintenance is done correctly. If those things start dropping out of the air, they're just shooting themselves in the foot. They better take advantage of this while you can. You're in business. You better be ready to be ruthless and take advantage of anything your competitor does that they screw up. Those poor astronauts. Yeah. There's really only 2 for large, narrow body and wide body planes. Okay. So yeah, it's just Boeing and Airbus then. And that's it for that article. I saw one here that involves you guys, though. Cannabix Technologies aims to deliver alcohol screening devices to the U.S. Looks like we're going to provide you guys with some. Yeah, Bombardier and Embraer only compete on the regional size. Okay, yeah, the smaller stuff. Attaboy, Godzillion. I knew that you'd know all about that stuff. And Bombardier is financed by the Canadian government anyway. So it's not like it's a successful standalone company. It's needed bailouts. You can look it up in past newspaper articles and all that about Bombardier getting grants from the federal government. It just makes me disgusted. Cannabix Technologies, a Vancouver, BC-based developer of alcohol and marijuana breathalyzer screening devices for law enforcement and the workplace, reports that it is in advanced discussions with Smartox for potential sales distribution of the company's BreathLogix alcohol screening device. Smartox is a biotech company specializing in drug testing out of Irving, Texas. How long before every car comes with an alcohol screener? Yeah. Wouldn't that be something? That's infringing on your civil rights there, that one. That's not even something that should be considered, really. The BreathLogix device facilitates workplace alcohol testing with an accurate autonomous screening process. It uses a pre-calibrated replaceable alcohol sensor cartridge to save time and eliminate costly calibrations. The device includes its own integration hub for third-party access control and biometric systems, potentially expanding its distribution globally. Oh, Embraer is subsidized by the Brazilian government, so it's par for the course. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I wasn't sure who Embraer was owned by, but yeah, it makes sense. The device features patent-pending pre-calibrated cartridge technology, allowing site safety administrators to maintain devices without expensive calibration equipment or technician visits. It supports various testing scenarios, including pre-access, random, smart, start of shift, pre-employment, return to work, post-incident testing, enhancing organizational safety, and reducing alcohol-related accidents. Operationally, the BreathLogix alcohol device is reported to automatically check user sobriety, capturing a picture to confirm and record their identity while the breath sample is delivered. It is said to provide a precise blood alcohol content level on screen and send real-time alerts via text and email and a dedicated web portal upon detecting positive results. System logs blood alcohol content data for incident reporting and historical investigations. All right. Sorry, boss, I missed the morning meeting because the breathalyzer on my laptop wouldn't let me log in. Yeah. Remember, don't drink and text, everybody. Yeah, I saw that too. It says no calibration. Scam that no measurement company is going to give up that sweet, sweet calibration money. You should have to do it at least every 6 months. I mean, there's bump stations and all that, and a calibration station. We have them for our gas monitors. But when it comes down to it, if I want the thing calibrated properly every 6 months, boom, send it back to the not the manufacturer, but their representative, their authorized distributor, as it were, and they do it because we just don't have that equipment there. Most of the time, your bosses are walking around with hard coffee. Yeah, a little Bailey's there in the old coffee. If that's the case, not just the workers, I think the bosses and the managers, they should have to go through that too. It's only fair. I don't know what this is, but let's have a look. The Ontario government is investing $3.46 million in mass timber manufacturer Element 5 to help the company expand its St. Thomas, Ontario-based operations. So once again, the government is giving money to a private business so they can stay in the province. It's disgusting. Calibrate it locally, have one employee be sober, one be hammered, make sure it works. Yeah, I'm going to have to get you to drink this vodka and then breathe into this just so we can get a calibration on it. Attaboy. Take one for the team. Element 5 is Ontario's first certified manufacturer of cross-laminated timber, part of the fast-growing field of advanced wood construction, which builds faster and more efficiently than traditional building materials. This funding will be more than triple the company's production, creating 32 new jobs, increasing revenue by over 300% and boosting export sales by nearly 600%. That's crazy. Sounds like sports stadiums here in the U.S. Oh, man. Yeah. With more space and new equipment, Element 5 will be able to meet the growing demand for their high-quality products and get more building projects done quickly and efficiency, said Graydon Smith, Minister of Natural Resources. This company is an advanced wood construction success story, powering growth and development across Ontario, Canada, and the U.S. Advanced wood construction assemblies build materials off-site before installation, reducing on-site disruption, completing projects up to 50% faster, and reducing costs by up to 20%. Advanced wood construction also offers environmental benefits by using wood as a sustainable alternative to traditional building materials while supporting the forestry sector. What the hell? Wood is a traditional building material. What are they talking about? Unless it's some kind of fancy special wood. It's like last U.S. job report, job growth, record job growth. But I think over half were government jobs. Yeah, that isn't job growth. That's the government taking on people to hide the numbers. They love to say when it's part-time jobs, oh yeah. Yeah, you always look at the job report with a magnifying glass. Yeah, of course. Scrutinize things. Don't just take it at face value or listen to their fancy, one-line titles that they give the things. Dig deep. Dig into it. There's more to it than that. Cross-laminated lumber, is that plywood? You know what? I don't know, David. I don't know what that is. Looks like we'll have to do some searching. Yeah, and age groups for unemployed, Alex. That's a good one too. What do we got here? The Ontario government has released an action plan designed to expand wood construction in the province. The Advanced Wood Construction Action Plan positions Ontario to lead the fast-growing sector by using more wood in the construction of mid-rise and tall multi-family residential, commercial, and industrial buildings, creating forest sector opportunity for diversifying and growing demand for sustainably harvested wood. With our sustainably managed forests, forest sector expertise, and access to key export markets, Ontario has a unique advantage in wood construction, says Nolan Quinn, Associate Minister of Forestry. Our government's action plan will use that advantage to expand the forest sector, create jobs, and grow communities by building homes and businesses faster. The Advanced Wood Construction Action Plan will be available for public review and comment on the Environmental Registry ending on September 30th. The investment in Element 5 and the release of the draft action plan advances Ontario's forest sector strategy goals, including increasing wood use and growing markets by making more pre-manufactured building materials available to support faster construction across the province. Once again, it's I thought they wanted to get away from cutting down the forests. Consume government narrative and get excited for next year. I see what you did there, Godzillionaire. Yeah. Consume government narrative. Get excited. Next government narrative. Cross-laminated number is basically 1x6s glued together at right angles. Here it is here. Thanks for the link, David. Cross-laminated timber, CLT. What is cross-laminated timber? It's an engineered wood product consisting of layers of kiln-dried dimension lumber, usually 3, 5, 7, or 9, oriented at right angles to one another, and then glued to form structural panels. By gluing layers of wood at right angles, the panel delivers excellent structural rigidity in both directions. In special cases, double outer laminations may be parallel and not alternating crosswise. Okay. And this just goes into how it's made. Although, look at this. Look at this picture here. They've got one strap around the middle. Why wouldn't you use a spreader bar and have, two, one on each end? Or if you need the support, use 3, one in the middle. But no, balancing this thing in the middle, that's poor practice. I wouldn't do that. That's I wouldn't be too proud of being those guys showing this picture off. It can be done better. CLT can be used as an alternative to concrete to form the walls, roofs, floors, and ceilings of a building, just like they used to do. This isn't like, yeah, great that they've managed to make it stronger and, build it up and turn it 90 degrees, but it's nothing new to use wood for your walls. They don't use spreader bars in Chinese sweatshops. You know what I also heard? That they don't use forklifts in China. They just go get more guys. So if they have to lift something heavy, they just get guys, and if it's too heavy for them, they get more guys. They don't go and use a forklift. They just go and grab more people, and they lift it up, whatever it is, and put it in place. Okay, so using an alternative to concrete to form the walls, roofs, floors, and ceilings of a building is particularly well suited to multi-story taller wood construction. These can include pre-insulated wall and roof sections. Other applications include cantilevered floors and balconies, load-bearing elevator shafts and stairs, used in virtually any building type from residential and office towers to schools and civic buildings. It can be left exposed for its aesthetic appearance or encapsulated when needed. Lumber in the outer layers of CLT wall panels are normally oriented up and down to maximize its load capacity vertically. Likewise, the floor and roof systems, the outer layers run parallel to the direction of the longer span. Now, will CLT burn in a fire? Oh, you better believe it does. Actually, what do they say here? Like other mass timber products, naturally resist fire because it chars. In the event of a fire, this char on the outside forms a protective layer while retaining the strength. This slows combustion significantly, allowing time to evacuate the building safely. For added safety, typical CLT construction that uses panels for floors, load-bearing walls, helps compartmentalize a fire, stopping it from spreading to the other parts of the building. CLT's fire safety is backed by rigorous fire testing in Canada and around the world, with or without gypsum board protection. CLT demonstrates significant fire resistance beyond 3 hours in some cases. During a fire resistance test, a 5-ply CLT panel wall, the panel was subject to temperatures exceeding 980 degrees Celsius. I think that's like 1900 or 2000 degrees Fahrenheit. Structural capacity persisted for over 3 hours, exceeding building code requirements. Okay. You wonder if that glue out gases for a while after it's made? Probably. Pakistanis that we trained in the Air Force would change tires on F-16s by having 20 guys hang on the opposing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, David. It's like, well, we don't have, equipment for stuff. Go get more guys. Apparently it won't rot or require mold when correctly installed and maintained. Okay. It says you're going to use sealants, coatings, and flashing, especially on CLT panel edges. Okay. Well, these guys are going to get money to expand their operations for this stuff, so we'll see how well it goes. Just get more guys. That's how the pyramids were made. Yes. Indentured servitude, right, Godzillionaire? Hey, it's DJ Ronnie G. What's up, DJ? You home from work now? Nexi, or Nexi, I don't know how to pronounce that. Nexi buyer, 3 Gates, announces plan to relaunch and rebuild. Let's have a quick peek at this and see if it's worth anything here. Nexi has retained most of its workforce and committed $8 million to upgrade its primary manufacturing facility in Squamish, BC, aiming to enhance production capacity, quality, and safety standards. Okay, but what does it do? Ah, you're home then. Hey, Casa, sweet Casa. Nexi has finalized the acquisition of Nexi Building Solutions assets under Canadian court supervision, marking a pivotal step towards the relaunch of Nexi's products, specializing in precision manufactured structural wall and roof panel systems for the building industry. Hey, maybe they should team up with those guys we were just looking at here with their cross-laminated timber. Or I wonder if they're competitors. Nexi addresses challenges such as rising construction costs, the demand for shorter schedules, and the need for a reduced carbon footprint. That's not necessary, by the way. You love Canadian town names? Your favorite is Flin Flon? Yeah. Yeah, we got some good ones. Squamish. What's that one? Spuzzum. So there's a little town and in British Columbia, and it's called Spuzzum. And the town before that is called Hope. So the joke was that Spuzzum is beyond hope. Yes, DJ, Regina does rhyme with fun. Oh, we have a town here in Alberta called Vulcan. And they have a Star Trek convention there every year. There's a giant concrete Starship Enterprise. So if you guys feel like it, just look up the town of Vulcan. Vulcan, Alberta. Nexi's technology attempts to accelerate construction schedules while cutting carbon emissions to a third of traditional concrete methods. Reportedly, Nexi's panels have been used by companies such as Walmart, Chase Bank, AECOM, and Starbucks. Russ Lambert, a principal with 3 Gates, said Nexi's construction techniques represent a significant advancement over conventional methods. We anticipate that the restructured Nexi will become a standout success story in North American technology. If that's the case, why did these guys have to finalize an acquisition of their building solution assets under Canadian court supervision? Something not right there. If these guys' technology is so awesome and they can, they should be making money hand over fist, why was the courts involved? Something doesn't sit right with me there. Nexi retained most of its workforce and committed $8 million to upgrade its primary manufacturing facility. They wrote it in again. Anyways, Blake Beckham, another principal with 3 Gates, added the dedication and skill of the Squamish workforce impressed us immediately, guiding our decision to maintain operations there and to invest in facility upgrades and expansion. Both the Canadian team and the Squamish plant are integral to our mission of delivering high-quality, eco-friendly buildings across North America. Bill Tucker, a Vancouver-based construction executive, assumes the interim CEO role to oversee Nexi's restructuring and growth. He will later join the board of directors as the Canadian representative. Mr. Tucker expressed, "I am privileged to contribute to the restructuring and expansion of Nexi. Our shared goal is to build a profitable company that drives significant advancements in carbon reduction and construction efficiency across North America." Operations transitioned to Nexi on July 24th. Supervision is for children and parolees. Yeah, exactly. Do I have a supervisor at work? Nope, I do not. There's no need. Okay, well that's it for the. So this one from the Financial Post, this one caught my eye here. You know how I'm always telling you guys that there's shortage in skilled trades, people got to get into them? I looked at this and I was like, you got to be kidding me. Canada has a record number of skilled tradesmen, but not enough construction activity. What the hell have we been reading in those other articles about how they have lots of construction and they had to turn down jobs because they don't have enough people? So what are these guys talking about? Anyways, we're going to dig into this and see if they're just full of it or in what. BS alert. Canada continues to grapple with meeting its housing construction targets. Until recently, a shortage of skilled trades, yes, was seen as the primary obstacle to housing construction growth. However, recent data reveals a troubling trend. While the number of construction laborers has reached an all-time high, construction activity has not followed suit, resulting in significant drop in productivity. The discrepancy between workforce growth and construction output is yet another challenge for a country struggling to reach its housing goals. Early in the summer, the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, or CMHC, noted that despite a record high 650,000 construction workers registered in 2023, Canada produced only 240,267 houses. Well, you're not going to produce one house per construction worker, if that's what they're thinking. If one accounts for the inflated size of the construction labor force, Canada could build more than 400,000 homes each year. Could we? Could we really? Do you really want to build them that fast? I think you should build them good, not fast. Statistics Canada Online data on labor productivity and size date back to 1997. Since that year, Canada's housing construction labor force has grown by 136%, while the number of housing starts has only increased by 63%. This suggests that the growth in labor force has not resulted in a commensurate increase in housing starts. Also, maybe people aren't buying brand new houses, especially now with the way prices are. Canada has an abundance of skilled people identify as skilled tradesmen. I don't know about that. They have to prove it. You get a little card that says you're a journeyman in your field, in your trade. The CMHC reports left-censored data suggests housing construction has been increasing, but only because the data series began in 1997. Had the series started in 1987, data reveal that Canada built 246,000 new homes that year, more than were constructed in 2023. A comparative analysis of the construction labor force size and housing production from 1987 to present might demonstrate that despite substantial growth in the labor force, there has been no significant increase in annual housing output. The CMHC has generated several scenarios for housing production, factoring in increased productivity thanks to the rise in construction laborers. If average labor productivity from 1987 to 23 had been maintained, 2023 would have seen 377,000 housing starts, representing a 57% increase over the observed starts. Using a scenario of maximum labor productivity during the same period, nearly 400,000 homes would have been produced in 2023. 66% more than the actual housing start. They can take these numbers and throw them around. Statistics, this. If we would have kept doing this, this would have been happening. If we would have been this would have had this much. You know what? The fact remains, it didn't. You had this many skilled tradesmen. You had this many houses. Too bad. Keep wishing. Keep hoping. You can identify it whenever you want. Reset breaker in house. Click electrician. Yeah, Godzillionaire. Well, David identifies as a little teapot. As long as you're short and stout. Until as recently as 2022, the prevailing view has been that the lack of skilled labor was the primary barrier to meeting Canada's housing construction targets. However, the recent data suggests labor shortages are no longer solely to blame. The more pressing issue now is the decline in construction labor productivity. You saying people aren't working as hard? Let's see. CMHC report noted that from 1999 to 2004, workers per housing start were much lower than current numbers, implying that productivity was higher 20 to 25 years ago. Determining the causes of the decline in construction sector productivity is paramount. The report highlights the fragmented structure of the residential construction industry in Canada. A large number of very small firms are busy building most of the housing in Canada. 69% of the construction activity involved firms with fewer than 5 employees. Interestingly, only one residential construction firm in Canada has more than 500 employees on its payroll. Okay, so you've got small guys that start a framing company or whatever, and they go and there's 5 employees there, and they go and build a house. 5 people can only do so much. You can only work them, maybe 12-hour days, maybe longer. I don't know. You can only work them so hard. They need a break. The atomized structure of Canadian construction firms is hardly a new finding. Professor Michel Bouzelli at Western University systematically studied the sector in the late 90s. His research, published in Environment and Planning, in 2001, revealed that in 1960, more than 94% of Canadian builders had fewer than 26 employees. Building companies with more than 100 employees comprised less than 1% of the industry. By 1973, the structure of the construction industry had evolved such that the share of builders with more than 100 employees grew to 4.4%. The 1970s also marked the peak of housing construction in Canada, despite the population being half of what it is today and relying on a much smaller labor force. This raises a critical question. How could Canada construct more housing faster with a smaller workforce? Maybe we weren't building giant mega houses like they are now? Understanding the factors that drove construction labor productivity in the 1970s and identifying the impediments to productivity today is essential for addressing the current housing crisis. Just give them a Kit Kat bar, they'll be good. I like Kit Kat. I remember I seem to think they've been shrinking. I always thought they were a lot larger. Oh, and Reese's peanut butter cups. Though, don't get me started. Those are so good. Chocolate and peanut butter. The Canadian government aims to build 3.87 million new homes by 2031. First of all, the government will not build anything. They will pay their buddies contractor buddies to build the homes. They're not going to build anything. This daunting task is compounded by the fact that expanding labor force hasn't helped, while NIMBYism, excessive development charges, and approval delays hinder housing supply. The construction industry must also introspectively find solutions for boosting productivity. Sounds like a whole lot of BS to me, guys. Okay, this last one here. Government will overpay to get things built very slowly. Yes, Godzilla, that's exactly it. I saw this one. Grapple adopts German-style apprenticeship model to tackle the skilled labor shortage head-on. It seems that every manufacturer across the country is seeking innovative solutions to the ongoing skilled labor shortage. Although some progress has been seen in recent years, employees who possess experience in the skilled trades are still a hot commodity. Yes, we are. To address this workforce dilemma, AEM member company Grapple North America, which specializes in innovative pre-finished solutions made of sheet metal, shared its experience working with apprenticeship programs and how these programs can create a pipeline of loyal, qualified candidates if done correctly. I grew up in Germany myself and attended an apprenticeship program. It is a very common form of education in the country, said Mark Zundholm, president and CEO of Grapple. We rely on these apprenticeship programs heavily in Germany. We wanted to bring that model with us to the US. Like that 4 million porta potty in San Francisco. Oh man. Yeah. Actually, San Francisco is one giant porta potty. You just drop your pants wherever and go. That's what I heard anyway. This is why I will never go to San Francisco. It is a literal toilet. The whole city is one giant toilet. There are so many German jokes you want to make them, but please, come on, Godzilla, right? Terms of service. Don't get me YouTube banned. Come on, be nice. Touch my caliper. Touch it. Apprenticeships are vital to close the skills gap. The availability of skilled labor, or lack thereof, is leading manufacturers of all sizes to explore new routes of training and attracting talent. For Grapple, this meant searching for a similar US-based apprenticeship program that mirrored the company's success in Germany. Grapple found that the German Chamber of Commerce is also represented in a few different locations in the US, mostly centered around the Midwest, and offers a fully comparable program called the ICAT Apprenticeship Program. We were the first ones in the Omaha area, maybe in all of Nebraska actually, to put in the effort to get involved with the German Chamber of Commerce to really dive into this program, said Zundholm. The 3-year dual study ICAT program has participants attending college courses 2 to 3 days a week and working with their sponsoring company 2 to 3 days a week. Apprentices earn wages while at work, a stipend while at college, and the company that employs the apprentice covers the cost of college tuition and fees. After the program is over, students will walk away with an associate degree as a manufacturing technician and a guaranteed full-time position in the company. Well, that sounds great. That's awesome. Industry apprenticeships are an effective, proactive approach for manufacturing industry to address workforce shortages and facilitate continued U.S. manufacturing development. But as outlined above, companies must be willing to make a significant investment into training and schooling. There's no guarantee the employee will stick around, but I guess you could get them to sign a contract that they will stick around for so many years after completing their apprenticeship, and then after that, they're free to go. I know I had to do that myself when I went through my apprenticeship at the garbage dump. I had to sign a contract just for a year. After I did my schooling and I finished it, it was a year after that I had to stick around. And then after that, I was free to go. Benefits for manufacturers and apprentices alike. Both manufacturers and apprentices reap the rewards that programs like the ICAT apprenticeship program provide. Long-term, these programs could be just the solution that this industry has been looking for to address the need for skilled labor. Benefits include production. Companies gain value from the work that apprentices do, gain employees after those apprentices graduate, and are able to improve quality performance due to the thorough training that apprentices receive. Just remember, they're apprentices for a reason. They're going to break things. Apprentices are going to make mistakes. They're going to break things. That's why they're apprentices. Don't forget that out there, you companies that are hiring them. Apprentices will make mistakes, but that's how they learn. Another benefit is workforce. Companies experience reduced turnover and improved recruitment, gain a pipeline of skilled employees, and develop the future managers all the way from the beginning of their employment. Yeah, don't look to those guys as managers. They're tradesmen. They're going to repair, install things. Maybe later on in their career, as they start to not want to pull wrenches anymore, they want to be a manager, but don't look at them as coming out of there and having management potential, because that you'll screw them up. Don't do that. Don't screw them up. Let them learn their skills. And the third benefit is soft skills. Apprenticeships lead to improved employee engagement, greater problem-solving ability, flexibility to perform a variety of tasks, and a reduced need for supervision over time. Problem solving and flexibility only if the managers don't interfere and micromanage. You're assuming they're not going to. This type of program is gaining traction in the U.S. and could be the key to training up skilled talent and achieving long-term retention at manufacturing facilities nationwide. If companies are willing to invest in their apprentices and have faith that they will become loyal employees, they will reap the benefits of a talent pipeline that keeps on giving. After all, the more successful apprentices organizations employ, the more students will want to learn from that company, and the more people that will want to come and join that company as well. If they hear people talking good about it, about how they became journeymen at this company, and from day one, you'll get long-term employees for sure. Lessons learned. Grapple has been very upfront about the lessons that they have learned throughout the introduction of the ICAP program to their Nebraska facility. First and foremost, they share that training is paramount, and it may not be enough to employ a part-time trainer to work with apprentices. One thing we have learned is the importance of having a full-time trainer position on staff to help integrate those apprentices into our facility, said Joe Cole. Our trainer meets with the apprentices about twice a week. They do activities together and are available if they need anything. Also, any journeyman can be a trainer. You need a journeyman to sign off on the work that the apprentice does. Apprentices can do work as long as they have a journeyman overseeing what they're doing. Currently, Grapple has 2 apprentices on staff and is looking to bring on 2 additional apprentices. The company has found that even numbers of apprentices are best as students have a partner to go through the program with. They all go to class together, come to work together, and can learn from each other for support when needed. Yeah, it's good to study with someone. We would do that in trade school as well. Partner up. Oh, Tits and Ray Guns. How you doing, buddy? You finally found out the name of the Dan Aykroyd clone running for PM. His name is Pierre Polytechnique. Close, yeah. You know what? If Buddy's going to get rid of the carbon tax, he's got my vote. I don't care. If you come in and you say, look, I'm going to get rid of the carbon tax, I'm voting for you. Because all the carbon tax does is kick people when they're down. You've got people having a hard time making ends meet, and you got the moron there, Prime Minister, and he's kicking you when you're down. He's kicking us. He's kicking us all when we're down. We're having a hard time getting by with the rising inflation, and this idiot's like, oh, carbon tax, that's great. And so he's just kicking us in the nuts. So if anybody comes by and says they're getting rid of it, I'm going to go and vote for that guy. Time to switch to live chat now that Tits and Reagans is here. You don't speak Frogistani. What do you mean you do not speak the French, eh? You don't like that, Tits and Reagans? You have to be the multi-language up here in Canada. You can speak it and understand what they're saying to you, eh? By the way, have some poutine while you're at it. Where we go? We've grown as a company. We've made adjustments to make sure the program can be accessible in the future. This is a long-term employment strategy. Unfortunately, there are no real quick fixes to the labor shortage, but if you're dedicated, it can pay off. As manufacturers continue to explore new avenues to chip away the industry labor shortage, they must continue to innovate and invest in long-term employment strategies, just like Grapple North America is doing in Omaha, Nebraska. Carbon tax, at what point do the guillotines come back into play? You know, I wish, Godzillionaire. Okay, so yeah, that's it. I thought it was good. So if you guys are anywhere near Nebraska, you guys could look into Grapple as they help putting people into skilled trades. So that's good. We need more. I know that one article from the Financial Post said we don't, but you know what? These guys are numbskulls. They don't know what they're talking about. They aren't in the trades. All right, so let me just get, it's picture time. Nowhere is near Nebraska. I'm not so good with my American geography. All right, I'm doing this for you guys and myself too. Nebraska. I gotta see where this is. I'll take you guys along for the ride. You guys know where it is. I don't. Okay. Oh, would you refer to that as Midwest? Because here's Wisconsin, Minnesota. Nebraska is just south of South Dakota. Okay. It's got Wyoming on the west of it, Colorado. Kansas, north of Kansas. And Iowa. Okay. So it is completely landlocked, like right in there. There's nothing close by, not even a lake, a Great Lake or anything. Nebraska is the second longest drive through a state next to Texas. Other than California, north to south. You can throw a frisbee all the way across Nebraska. She's that flat, eh? Oh, yeah. I think I can see the edge of the border there. Yeah. Oops, not that one. Seems nice. Golf course. Rolling hills. Oh, yeah. Corn as far as the eye can see. Oh, I haven't seen any cornfields yet. That looks cool. Mostly farms. Nebraska's mostly farms. Oh, they got some big buildings there. Eh? That looks neat. Hardy corn-fed gals from Nebraska. Huh. It's the Arbor Day Farm Tree Adventure. St. Mary's Cathedral. Okay, anyway. That's where Nebraska is. All right. Picture time. I know the title in my stream here was what is a drum digester? Nebraska, home of the big-boned, big-breasted white girls, no cup below a D. Right on, tits, right on. Okay. Just got to capture this. There we go. So this thing is a drum digester. This is used in breaking down organics out of your garbage. They're huge. I just want to say, gotta be double D. Anything less is not huge. So this drum digester, it helps break down all the organic garbage that comes in. And these things are about 15 feet in diameter and about 150 feet long. And so they put up with a lot of abrasion from the garbage that gets sent down them. It takes about 3 days. They rotate at 1 RPM. That's it. So they have giant gearboxes. And actually you can see one right there. There's the motor. There's the gearbox. The gearbox takes up almost half the pedestal to spin this thing. And this thing is huge at 1 RPM. That's as fast as it goes. Lucky Nebraska men have big hands and mouths. These are the gears that turn the drum digester. And here's a pen resting on the gears to show you for scale how big they are. And the small one drives the large one. The large one goes around the entire circumference of the drum digester. And then the small one is attached on the output shaft of the gear reducer. And it just, works away, quietly turning. There's another shot from the other direction. It goes from building to building. One building loads the stuff in, and there's a giant ram that pushes the stuff down. They're at a slight incline too, maybe 2-3 degrees of an incline. And then it goes into this building, where it gets dumped onto a conveyor after it's been broken down by the heat and the abrasion, the rotation. So right now, the one with the scaffolding is stopped for an inspection. These things need to be inspected because they will just get worn out. And you don't want them getting holes in them because then you have to do major repairs. And this is what we repaired, the one that I worked on. This is special hardened steel plate. It's called Trime, and it's supposed to hold up to abrasion a lot better than just your regular carbon steel. Nebraskan just looks like they're smiling because their lips are stretched. So we had pallets and pallets of this stuff, and it was heavy. Yeah, so that's the scaffolding to access the drum digester. And next, let's see here. All right, so this is what it looks like on the inside. we've already done quite a bit of work in here. So a lot of those plates that you saw, they were connected to the inside. We haven't gotten to this part yet. This part is what it looks like. So it's a big, long, continuous, just grooves in it. Hey, Kitty Bear, how you doing? He ain't heavy. He isn't, Lizzo. So the way you do this is you have to use a stud welder. You have to clean a spot, mark it out with a template, stud weld, put studs in, put down some rubber and then some plate on top of it, screw it down, and then weld it up. So it was quite the process. And we got, like, you'd do it halfway, and then you'd roll the whole thing, and then do it the next halfway. Yes, DJ, CLT Wood. Are you behind in the stream? We talked about that a little earlier. Seems like it's okay. Yeah, drum digestion. Yeah, and there was lots of pictures taken. Some of the guys, they were showing what they had to dress up like, right? This fella, he came up from Michigan, I believe. He was one of the fellas to help us out. Yeah, we had to show them that we were using all of our PPE, face shield, respirator, safety glasses. This guy was showing that the goggles fogged up and caused a hazard. Imagine having to carry Lizzo. No, thank you. This is how we would load up the steel plates. Use the scissor lift, load them up, and feed them in through the window. You guys won't believe this, but this is a heater. It says right there, heat dish. It was so cold that it couldn't keep up. This is frost. This is frost on a heater that's getting pushed to the maximum here. It can't melt it. It was that cold. There's another shot of it. That's frost on the guard. It's not there. You can see it. It's melted it here. But out here, further away from it, nope. It's just going to form ice crystals. Another thing, cracked extension cord. Well, once that happens, can't use it anymore. You have to cut it and throw it in the garbage. There's another shot of the inside. It would get quite cold inside. So we needed to bring in some heaters. We did have lighting, which was all right. Made it a little bit more habitable. But it was, this is a confined space after all. So we had to have a rescue team on standby. And we would always have to do our permits and our gas testing every time we went inside. These bars up here, as you can see, there's one there, one there, one there, one there, all the way down. All the way down. These are zinc anodes. And they would sacrifice themselves in order to keep the carbon steel from getting rusted and eaten through. Plastic doesn't do well at minus 20 degrees? No, it does not. Back when you did construction in a flat, they used a heater that looked like a mini jet engine. 100 meters away, it was 20 degrees. Near it was over 30. Yeah, those are crazy, eh? Just cut it, splice it, tape it, be fine, they said. Yeah. There was the welding cables that were fed out of the hatch. You can see the frost. More frost on the walls. More frost on the mirror that the Manwatch would use, because they had to keep an eye on us when we were in there. You'd have a fellow that would sit out on the scaffolding and watch us to make sure we're all okay. There he is there. Yes, and we had fire extinguishers just in case. As you can see, we're moving along with the plates. Actually, this is the start. This is the start where they started this end. Your ex-wife in that tunnel? I don't know. Is she scary? There's another fellow there showing how he's using all his PPE. I know I got some videos here too, stuff that went on. Let me check if I can find them here. Bump, 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 bump. Here we go. She was frosty. Ha! Let me just take this back here and stretch it out big so you guys can see it. So I think what we did is we had to rotate this whole drum. And this is it. We're trying to stop it 180 degrees from where we started. There we go. We managed to do that. Ex-wives in tunnels, you leave that one all alone. Yeah, DJ, you're behind, man. You got to catch up. So I think we were checking. You're 6 minutes behind? Oh, man. I think we were checking what the arc flash was like without a shield. So we got Buddy here. He's welding away on these nuts. This is just to keep them from getting backed off or rubbed off. So he did that. And then we put up a shield. And if you watch my intro, you'll see this is the same video clip from the intro. Now he's using a shield. It's a little better. We don't want to arc flash people. You can see behind him there, there's a heater there. We finally got a heater. DJ's not behind, he's just on Ottawa time. So that's a lot better. That keeps him from flashing all the guys when we're trying to work there around him. It's not good. Arc flash hurts, man. If you guys have ever had arc flash, it hurts. Okay, so it's cold. We've got warm air in the drum digester. Cold air is coming in. You can see it coming in through the hatches. But can't stop for the cold weather. Got to keep going. Okay, so this is what I was telling you about, stud welding. This is neat. The process is, like I told you, this fella up here, he is cleaning all the scale off, all the rust. And then this fella, he'll go over and he should put some studs in where they've been marked. So let's see here. Newfoundland time. That's right there, bye. You got to be a Newfie. Okay, so he's cleaning that. That guy's getting set up for... Okay. So he didn't do it just yet, but we'll see. This should be the one here. So this guy's heating up. So we also had to worry about moisture. You don't want moisture in your welds. So you'd always preheat with a Tiger torch before the stud welder would go in. So there's the guy there. He's heating things up. And this other fella's gonna go in there. And check it out. There you go. Stud welded. Now the stud is secured to the inside of the drum. That's awesome. Just doing stud welding like that. And speaking of which, there's our stud welder. And it gives a big burst of electricity, so you'll watch the line jump. There you go. That was the line jumping due to the obviously the magnetic lines going through. So it does a bit of a jump. At least you're in a drum in winter. It's this cold on a good day on the range. Last year was routinely minus 40 in freedom units. None of that sissy Celsius. Yeah, I was just going to say too, David, yeah. Minus 40 is the same on both scales there, tits. Celsius or Fahrenheit. Gets to that point, it's both the same. Cold is cold. You got it. I think this guy's going to do another one. There you go. So he got that secured there, and now chip away the ceramic insulator. I wish they would have let him do that a little more. Come on now. Yeah, so he chips away that, and you can see the other ones that are there too. The ones that have been done, secured to the inside, and yeah, just chipping away that ceramic insulator. So yeah, that's how you secured those metal plates to the inside. Where is it? There we go. Yeah, guys, tightening down. So they wanted us to torque down all the nuts. There you go. So you make yourself a long handle and you torque them down. Anything under minus 10 sure feels the same. Yeah, it's all spacesuit weather. There's a better shot. You can zoom in now and see the studs as they are secured to the inside wall. There it is there. There's the stud gun. And it holds the ceramic insulator, and the other end holds on to the steel stud. And there we go. There's our needler, so needle scaler. that got rid of all the rust and everything like that to make a clean place to weld on. Once again, more tightening of the nuts down. There's our heater. So we finally got an electric heater to keep us warm in there. It did all right. No, don't talk my nuts. And then, yeah, this fella is heating up, preheating, getting rid of all the moisture. You don't want moisture in your weld. Make sure it's all nicely. And there's our template. You'd set it in there, use some soapstone and mark out the circles of where the next one's going to go. Actually, you'd latch on to the first stud, and then from there you could mark it out. Yeah, it's air powered, David, a needle scaler. So this thing is, as you can see, it's air powered, and it just vibrates up and down. These things go move in and out, in and out, in and out rapidly. And yeah, they gets rid of a lot of rust. Back in your day, you paid extra for that back and down. Let's have a look here. What's this? Okay. Not sure what we were taking pictures of that day. There's the guys working there, and you can see the rubber goes down first, and then the plates go on top of it. So there you go right there. There's part of a plate. It's got the washers on it, a rubber washer, and then a steel one, and then the nut, and then the nut gets hard surfaced. And you can see right there the rubber underneath, and this guy looks like he's marking out where some more of the new holes need to go. What do these guys bill out at? We were just part of the maintenance crew. So, well, actually, we were on the project team, but we were just employees of the company that ran the dump. So we were just selected to be on the project's crew to do this work. So myself, I was an apprentice millwright, and we had a journeyman, and then I think we had like 4 laborers. Not spot welded, David. Hard surfacing. Did a little bit different. This is our rescue. So we always had this at the ready, just in case. Stretcher, backboard, and a stretcher. And because we were down in, we would get hauled up a ladder. There's a crane at the top, and we would get hauled up that ladder if anything ever happened. So yeah, up the ladder we go. There's the ram feeder deck, which is when garbage was pushed in, this ram would come forward and push it in more into the drum. There's some more stud welding. They paid us jack for working in that cold. You know what? I was just happy to have a job. I made apprentice wages. So not journeyman rate, but I made apprentice wages, which wasn't too bad. It was about, I think, $23 an hour or so. Gonna check and see what do we got here for pictures. Yes. Yep. Hard facing. Yep. 100%, David. Ram feeder. Didn't she used to work on 6th Street? Probably. Hi-oh. think the guys are getting close to the finish mark here. This was a handy platform to have. We built it inside there, and that would help us get up the sides a little easier. There you go. There's a shot of a nut that they hard surfaced. Hard surface, hard facing, yeah. So it's got the rubber washer behind it and the carbon steel washer on top of it. There's where we would get pulled out if there was an emergency. As you can see, it's hard to see, but there's a green crane right here, a davit arm. And that would help pull up the stretcher that you were on. So you would get pulled up there, and then you'd meet the ambulance at the top. There you go. There's a better shot of it. So use the ladder as a guide, and up you go. And the ladder had to be secured at the bottom so it wouldn't kick out. So we use that ratchet strap. And there's a long distance shot. Nut shot. Metal powder is melted with a plasma torch. Okay. We just used a roll of wire for hard surfacing. Yes, Tits, that's a rim shot. See what else we got here. See if I can find one where we're close to completion. That would be much better. What is that? Oh, that is showing how much the wall is pulling away from one of the ridges. So there's the pen, and there's how much it's pulled away, or the wall has worn away. Wikipedia editors are so fancy in their descriptions. I guess they can be. Man, these pictures aren't. So we made ourselves some steps to use as well. These helped us get up the sides of here a little safer and a little better. Because as you can see, the top is done. So now we're working on the other half. And it looks like we're just filling in parts here. Getting close to completion. Welding's a weak spot for you. You do more of it than most because you're cheap. Just be careful. We don't want to hear about Tits having an accident with something that he welded. All right. Yeah, I don't know why the pictures are so small. I thought the camera was set up to for some high resolution here. So we're working our way around. Top is done. This side is done. And now there's just this one little quarter section left. Torquing those nuts. Getting guys to holding the plates up. Making adjustments. This guy's needling where the new studs have to go. See how he's got one latched on there on the template? And then he's using the needler in his other hand. Get rid of that rust. Photo gives the size and scale. Yeah, this was a big project. We had scrutiny from corporate level. You know, those guys were watching us like a hawk to make sure we were doing everything safe, because this was such a freaking dangerous job. It was a job that needed to be done to preserve this drum digester, and there's 5 of them there. So it was supposed to make it so that you could have more garbage go through here and not worry about the abrasion wiping the whole thing off and having it split in half. But yeah, that's a good... You're right, Tits. That is a good scale shot. There's the size of an average guy. This thing is huge. It's huge. And this drum digester would help break down the garbage. You'd put your garbage in there, and it would rotate and break it down. There would be heat just from the garbage breaking down itself would make the heat. And by the time it got to the end after 3 days, it was about 80% broken down. There's some more studs ready to go. More heating. We're just using that Tiger Torch like crazy. Big old flame coming out of it. Trying to get rid of that moisture. More hard surfacing. Oh no, that's not hard surfacing. That's more stud welding. And you can see the ones that still have their ceramic caps on them. There's the fella that's doing the man watch, making sure we're okay in our confined space. He's comfy. He's got his chair out there. He's all bundled up. He's got his heater. Poor bugger. There's the fella hard surfacing. There's a fella, he's putting in the rubber underneath. Yeah, and he's still going at it, probably looking for plates to go on there. It was just like a construction or a factory line, like assembly line. You got guys, he's vacuuming, getting rid of all the debris. They got the template. One guy is needling, and then try to get as many done as possible. And then they come along with the stud gun and boom. So it was just almost assembly line the way it worked. That guy's cleaning up everything. Sometimes you get a little bit too, you don't give the thing a rest. Welders have a duty cycle for a reason. And duty cycle is how long can you run it for 10 minutes. It's based out of 10. So, if your duty cycle is 60%, 6 minutes on, 4 minutes off. Duty cycle is 8. It's 8 minutes on, 2 minutes off. This is what happens when you run it 10 out of 10, like nonstop. You melt the tip. So the nozzle melted and the tip melted. So the nozzle is the outside bit here, and then the inside's the tip. So that happens when you go a little bit too hard on a piece of machinery that's not meant for that. Shame we can't show that working. Yeah, I know, tits. There you go. There's another shot of it. And just getting pictures. This guy's using a big welding shield. Doesn't want to flash anybody. Yeah, it's a good thing it is a cheap part. Nozzles aren't that expensive. Nozzles and tips. When you get into the whole gun, that's when you start getting expensive, like the whole MIG gun. That's a lot of money. Yeah, and DJ brings up a good point. Welding arcs emit UV rays. That's why you'll see sometimes welders will have like tanned necks. Like the front of their neck will be all red. Or if they don't wear a helmet, the face will be red. Be wary about that. Always wear your welding helmet. Some guys would even hang some leather. They'd attach it to the bottom of their helmet to protect their neck, because you're gonna get sunburned, and you don't want that. You don't want to subject yourself to the pain of getting sunburned because of your welding. That's why you don't weld with short sleeves or anything like that. Same thing. You're gonna get sunburned. You don't want to get arc flash in your eyes either. It feels like somebody poured hot sand in your eyes. And you won't feel it until the evening when you're at home and you're trying to watch TV and you're wondering why your eyes are watering. I've had arc flash before. I don't like it. So wear your gauntlet style gloves, which means they come up your forearm a bit. Wear your leathers to protect you from hot sparks. Don't put cuffs in your coveralls. Make sure your safety boots, you can get like covers, or get them so that they don't have any laces in the front because the sparks will land on it, or the hot slag. Yeah, leather gaiters. Exactly, tits. Yes. That way you don't get any of that. It's for your own good. You know, the heat coming off those things, instant burn. Like getting into your boot. You can't get your boot off fast enough, and that thing will burn down into your skin and give you 3rd-degree burns. It's incredible how hot a slag can be, and it doesn't cool down anytime soon. A cloth gaiter will catch fire. You learn that the hard way. Some people have to learn things the hard way, tits. But the important thing is you learned. Yeah, always wear your personal protective equipment. Make sure it's well ventilated. You don't want to breathe in. Wear a respirator. You can get fancy behind the back ones that sit nice and close to your face, but the hoses go behind your back so they're not in the plume. Because there's exotic metals. You're breathing that stuff in. It's going into your lungs. It's not good for you. You know, you're going to get sick. You're going to have health problems later on. You don't want all that. Just Google what's in a welding smoke or what's in a welding plume. And you'll have a new respect for it. You know, don't stick your face in it. Keep your face out of it. Use a fume extractor or a fume hood, something that can move those fumes away from you. It's very important. I've done enough damage to my body to know that I should do that. Because I worked in a welding shop. I showed you guys pictures last week when I worked in the attachment shop that worked on excavators and all that. They had terrible ventilation. Awful. You know, you've got, I don't know, 12 welding machines going all at once, putting plumes in the air. Some of those welders, they didn't care. They didn't use their fume extraction. And yeah, it would just all float to the ceiling and you'd be inhaling it and you'd go home and blow your nose and you're black smoke all night. Ah, David with the what's in a welding plume? An ounce of prevention goes a long way. Yeah, exactly. Or whatever we use for an ounce. It's okay. We still say ounce. Composition of welding fumes is determined by the metals in the material being welded, the composition of the electrode, coatings, and other factors such as fluxes containing silica or fluoride produce amorphous silica, metallic silicates, and fluoride fumes. Fumes from mild steel welding contain mostly iron and small amounts of additive metals, chromium, nickel, manganese, molybdenum, vanadium, titanium, cobalt, copper. Stainless steels can have larger amounts of chromium, including hexavalent chromium or nickel in the fume, and less amounts of iron. Nickel alloys have much more nickel in the fume and very little iron. Here's the health effect of welding fumes. Aluminum. It's a respiratory irritant. Beryllium, metal fume fever, a carcinogen. Cadmium oxides, irritation of the respiratory system. Chromium, increased risk of lung cancer. Copper, irritation of the eyes, nose, and throat. Fluorides, irritation of the eyes, nose, and throat. Long-term exposure may result in bone and joint problems. Iron oxide, siderosis, a benign form of lung disease. Lead, chronic effects of nervous system, kidneys, digestive system, and mental capacity. Manganese, metal fume fever. Chronic effects may include central nervous system problems. Molybdenum, eye, nose, throat irritation, shortness of breath. Nickel, acute effect is irritation of the eyes, nose, and throat, increased cancer risk. Vanadium, irritation of eyes, skin, and respiratory tract. Chronic effects include bronchitis, redness, fluid in the lungs, and pneumonia. Zinc, metal fume fever. I mean, that's just from that. There's gases. Yeah. Organic vapors as a result of welding. Aldehydes such as formaldehyde. Dicyanates or disocyanates. Phosgene gas. I've heard that's terrible. Phosphine, irritant to the eyes. So yeah, look at all this stuff. Wear your protective equipment. It's going to benefit you in the long run. You'll be around a lot longer. Your life won't be misery. You'll have it so that you can, go out for that hike. Take a trip. Visit your loved ones. It's not worth it. Buy yourself get yourself a respirator. That'll rip your lungs a new one. Yeah, phosgene gas will wreck your life. Yeah, there you go. Even Tits says phosgene gas will wreck your life. So yeah, thanks for finding this, David. I appreciate that. Just keep smoking for another 10 years like my uncle who was a welder. Yeah, a lot of welders do smoke. Yep. I mean, it's if you can avoid getting into smoking or quit, then that's even better for you. But yeah, it's a good idea to help yourself out. To not stuff you can prevent, do what you can to prevent it. If it means wearing earplugs or a face shield or a respirator and it's available to you, do it. Do it so that you live a long and healthy, prosperous life. Not a short one that's painful and full of misery. Anyways, ending off on that happy note. Hey, Carl! Yeah, Carl. Sorry you missed it. We were having a good old time talking about the inside of a drum digester, and then we got onto welding and welding safety. Suit up, filter up. Words to literally live by. Yes, tits. That's a good saying. I like that. Suit up, filter up. Wear your PPE. Don't just think what you're in for. Who cares what anybody else thinks? It's like, you know what? I'm doing this for me. I have to, and for myself, I'm speaking for myself, I have to come home every day the way I left. My wife is counting on me to come home in good shape. She doesn't want me to get injured. She doesn't want, to lose me to lose a limb or an eye or anything like that. It'll make it harder on her if I come home injured or if I don't come home. So it's in my best interest to keep myself healthy, to be safe, not lose a finger, not lose an arm, not lose an eye, not have my lungs collapse on me, because I have to take care of my wife. She doesn't have to work. We have our agreement. I'll work and she takes care of the house. She's a housewife. She's okay with that. But I have to come home safe and sound because I have to take care of her. That's my job. My job's to take care of her. So if that's not your motivation, think of what it is, but be selfish in this regard. Be selfish about safety. You protect you. You protect you. Make sure that you're safe, and then worry about other people. Make sure they're safe too. It's hard to control what they do, but you make sure that you do what you can to make things safe. Come home all in one piece. People are counting on you. You can still function with 9 fingers. Yeah, but you're always going to have that phantom pain. This goes for young guys. Yes, tits. I don't care how old you are. You're just starting out. You're 18. You've graduated from high school. Did you go into the trade school and graduate from that? That would be what I suggest. Go to trade school. Graduate from trade school. Go out there. I don't care if people are looking at you or if you got an old guy that's worked there for 90 years or whatever and he's like, you're putting that stuff on? Who cares? Ignore him. Put it on. Wear it. It's in your best interest. Maybe he doesn't care. Maybe he's already lost a couple of fingers. Maybe he's going to point a nub at you. Just do it. Do it for yourself. And do it because people are counting on you. Yeah, tits, it does make holding a beer harder. You definitely don't want to lose a digit. I've been in the trade since 1996, and I still have all my fingers. I'm not saying I haven't had any close calls, near misses and all that, but I still have them all. So, I've had my fair share of accidents. We can go into that at another time. The stream's gone on quite a while now. So, I'm going to start wrapping it up here. I just want to say thanks to all you guys that came out today. I really appreciate it. People like David Glenn, who's a new mod on the stream. And Alex Moore, of course, the working man. Everyone's favorite kaiju, Godzillionaire. It's always nice to see you stop by. And there was Tits and Ray Guns. Always good to hear from you, Tits. And of course, DJ Ronnie G. Because, this is DJ's, this is his day off now. I think he starts his days off after this. So it's always good to know the DJ in the house. And of course, Carl. It was great to see you, Carl. Sorry you didn't, sorry you only came at the end here, but, you can always watch the replay or, catch me next week. Same time, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Nothing will teach you safety like a 7-fingered guy trying to give safety advice. Listen to me, I tell you. This nub here, oh yeah, I lost it. Yeah, DJ, the weekend begins. Right on. So yeah, DJ, if you guys like tech, if you like turtles, if you like astronomy, make sure you tune into DJ Ronnie G. He has his Monday stream he does at 10:45 Eastern. And it's always usually a good time. So yeah, please guys, like the stream, subscribe if you haven't already. Spread the word, let everybody know, hey, there's this guy on Tuesday nights. He talks about the skilled trades. He's got pictures, videos of stuff like that. He's a big proponent of working safe and making sure that giving information to people that want to know about the skilled trades. There's other guys out there too that are great. I watch personally and enjoy, like Pacific 4 and Blaine from Blaine's Escape Corner. There's DJ Ronnie G, of course, and Angry Canadian. There's Brandon the Anime Guy. There's also Woopa Troopa when he gets back into streaming. I think he's taking a break right now. And there's also Punkwaddle. You can find him at Floral from Under a Rock and on Snowdub's channel. Yeah, coming up Saturday, more Dragon Quest IV. And that'll be leading up, and that'll be August already, which is, I know on Carl's channel, it's he's doing JRPG August. So I'm right there with you, Carl. Dragon Quest, JRPG. So, and I know you and a bunch of other guys are doing JRPG August. And they're pretty fun. I like JRPGs. So that's what I'm doing. That'll be at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. So if you're an early bird, if you get up early, join me. Do you want to sit back and relax and listen to old pop, play some Dragon Quest, and it's for the Nintendo DS. It's pretty good. Thanks, David. Thanks for the shout out for Rumble there. I didn't see anybody on Rumble today, so I'm always hoping we get somebody on Rumble or Kick or what's the other one? Oh, Twitch. Yes. Twitch, Rumble, Kick, YouTube. I don't know. I was thinking maybe trying out Twitter as well, but I think probably got to jump through some hoops for that one. Sunday coming up. Sunday Anime Chat. That's going to be a new month, August. The month of August is going to be beach episodes. Because August is a nice hot time of year. People want to go to the beach. Let's go to the beach in August and check out some more animes with beach episodes. It's always a fun time. It's a good excuse to get your favorite characters dressed up in skimpy bikinis and such. So it'll be a fun time, I hope. You got to pay to stream on Twix now. Oh, is that right? Okay, well, never mind then. Next time you'll post from Rumble, so at least I'll have one. Thanks, Tits. Yeah. I know people do come by. I check my analytics there, and it's like, 5 views, 8 views, stuff like that. So people do come by. They must watch the replay or something. I don't know. So if you're out there and if you are watching me right now on the replay, thanks. I appreciate it. It's, try to catch me live. That way we can talk more and interact and you guys can ask questions and I can try to provide best answers I can. Subscribe for the monthly thing, that is. Oh, okay. I think that's it. Yeah, right. After Sunday comes around, after that, Tuesday again, more trades talk. I'll be here. I'll have more pictures, more videos, hopefully stuff that's going on. We're getting close. Shutdown's coming in September, so I'm going to be really busy because when shutdowns happens, that's when maintenance kicks into high gear and has to get all the things rebuilt and repaired and all that. I always like after shutdown where I can rest. Once we get the plant started up again, it's back to buying all the parts that you used and hopefully getting to slow down a bit and not being on the go. You're trying to talk the wife into some Cortana cosplay, but just in the bedroom. Well, she should be up for that. It's just in the bedroom. You'll be Master Chief because Injun. Yeah, you show her. You show her that weapon of yours. The old Master Chief weapon. Anyways, I think that's it for tonight, everybody. This was a nice long stream. I really enjoyed it. You guys are the ones that made it really fun. I'm glad I was able to catch you up on some of the news out there, what's going on. You guys filling me in on stuff, checking out what's going on in the shortage of tradesmen out there. I'm gonna be busier than a one-armed man in a face-slapping contest. You betcha. Or isn't it the one-legged man in an ass-kicking contest? Maybe that was just from Deadpool. But yes. Thank you all for coming out. I had fun. I hope you did too. And I hope to see you Saturday for the game stream. But until then, everyone, I've been Pop, and I am signing off.